This conference will
Dr.
now
Ravi
be
Kansar.
recorded.
Dr. Ravi Kansar, Associate Professor, National Institute of Technology, Surat, is with us. Sir, research areas are supply chain management, sustainable green supply chain management, reverse logistics, Lean Six Sigma, knowledge management, multi-criteria decision-making tools. Then Sir has published many research papers in international journals. He has professional membership in International Association of Engineers, Institute of Engineers, Quality Control Forum of India, Indian Society for Technical Education. Then Sir has carried out many sponsored projects sanctioned by Department of Science and Technology, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and All India Council for Technical Education. Now Sir is going to deliver lecture on Pythagorean fuzzy AHP approach and its application to evaluate enables of sustainable supply chain management. Then these new concepts will be helpful for us, including the participants. Now I am welcoming Dr. Ravi Kansar to start his session. Welcome, sir.
So good morning to all of you. I am audible.
Yes, sir. Voice is clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I am going to present a Pythagorean fuzzy approach and its application to evaluate the enablers of sustainable supply chain. So the focus will be to understanding of the Pythagorean fuzzy HP as well as how we can evaluate the enablers of sustainable supply chain. So we will be going like we'll try to investigate the supply chain innovation enablers to achieve the sustainability into the supply chain. And then we are going to develop a framework with the help of, and that framework will be solved through the Pythagorean fuzzy HP method. Then we are going to apply this framework to one of the Indian manufacturing industry. Then also we are going to conduct the sensitivity analysis to check the robustness of the developed framework. Probably some of you has unmuted your mic, so please unmute yourself because background sound is coming. So all the participants are requested to unmute them or reverse mute. Now we are going in this particular flow where I am going to cover the introduction, literature review, basically focusing on the innovation for sustainable supply chain, then sustainable supply chain innovation, then research gap. Then we are going to focus the research methodology, basically the part of Pythagorean fuzzy HP and how the calculation will be carried out, and then results and discussion, and finally the conclusion. See, as you know that as the supply chain activities are increasing continuously, it has direct impact on the natural resources consumption. Then it has impact on the carbon emission, then air pollution, water pollution. Then the most important issue is the waste generation. And altogether what it is going to happen is that there is imbalance into the ecosystem. Whether you are from the small cities, big cities, or the medium range city, urban or the rural area, you can just look into the environment and just you compare within 10 years back what was the situation and today what is the situation. And basically, now the government is also becomes so aware that they can foresee the requirement of, they can foresee that how if we are not practicing sustainability, what is going to be happen after 10 to 20 years in downline. Then there is the society awareness also. So society also now, due to the Swachh Bharat initiatives taken by the government, even the schools are too much focused. Even the childrens of today, they knows that what is the biodegradable and what is not biodegradable, where to throw, why not to throw. So such type of things which is no, and because of such reason, the sustainable initiatives has become a core issue today. Even we say that our country or any of the country, the economic growth depends upon the manufacturing, but the manufacturing also, it has to be looked into that, so that it can minimize the social and the environmental impacts as much as possible. And if I have to introduce sustainability, you required industrial supply chain, you required a creative thinking, and you have to develop new knowledge, novelties if you want to implement it. See, basically, what innovation demands, it demands into the modification into the product processes. Then it requires the innovative management approach. So let us think of doing the same thing where can we make it a thing sustainable, or there should be the alignment, strategic alignment of policies. So recent government guidelines to be followed. So there are so many guidelines for particularly for the waste generation, single-use plastic. So many guidelines, so many policies after the 2014 of the government, after the Narendra Modi government taken charge. So they had come out with so many policies, mostly to tackle the sustainability issue. Now, if I am adopting the sustainable supply chain innovation, so organization can develop a novel products, processes, services, technologies, and through these sustainable supply chain innovations, the performance can be the not a supply chain performance, but it can be the sustainable performance, which can enable us to the lower emission, then effective resource utilization, and probably the better social interrelations. Because ultimately whatever anyone is doing, any industry is doing any activity, so any sector is doing activity, so basically it has a social impact. And this sustainable supply chain innovations, basically there are so many barriers also. Then the first and foremost thing is that scarcity of the resources. See, to handling the sustainable this one. See, today you say that please do not use a plastic. Please use a single-use plastic. But can we ensure that everyone is getting that particular item at the minimum cost or easily available? Then the cost is also coming to into the picture, and then the thinking. So because we had learned from years, so it is very difficult to change our mindset. Let's say we say that I have to carry the poly bag, cotton bag to bring the vegetables from the market, but we had been trained to bringing the things into the grocery wala or the vegetable wala with the polythene, and also it depends, it becomes very difficult. Even though we know it, we try to give certain extra cost, which is for buying a plastic bag. So, all these things, it creates hindrances, and then ultimately the initiatives are taking place, but it becomes very slow. So this sustainable supply chain can help into the achieving the sustainability by, and by maximizing the profit. And then the important is that social well-being. So, then we are trying to see that the environmental impacts can be minimized. If you talk about the sustainable supply chain innovations, and due to innovations, the developed countries, sustainable inventions, the developed countries are doing better. And even if you find out a literature, so China and Taiwan, the two developing nations, are comparatively doing better in this particular regard. But what is the situation with the India is that, India is one of the fastest growing economies among the developing nations. And, there are a lot of effort to make in India initiatives where companies, multinational companies, they wanted to have a manufacturing setup in the India. And probably, if we do not think of the sustainability, then it is going to create a problem in coming few years. And it is also true that the recent report says that India is the fourth most preferred location for the manufacturing. But if you just see to the next line where it says that, Environmental Performance Index 2018 report says that India is ranked at 177th ranks out of 180 countries. So this is something which is alarming situation. And probably, if you look into the metros, and if you look into the bigger cities where the air quality is one of the important parameter for any particular cities. And environmental degradation can it is going to impact the social life. Then, there is another one issue that whatever the resources the industries are utilizing, so probably, there is always a leakage of those resources. And recent report says that we are also, poor in doing and that, and especially into the carbon emissions are too high. If you look into the this carbon emission, this one, there is lot of research which talks about the carbon quota, and the companies has to buy the carbon quota. They cannot produce the carbon more than that. So there are the so many issues which is there, uh, and if we see our Indian manufacturing industry, so the government is slowly, they are strengthening the environmental legislation, like recycling acts are there, municipal solid waste acts which has come. And now environmental audits becomes very stringent, because we know that at our institute is doing the environmental audits for in around industries nearby Surat. So days are now getting tougher. So they had to comply, they had to install the technology to tackle the issues. So the question is that can we help to developing nations? Can we help our countries to come out with this? And the answer is yes. And the sustainable supply chain innovations enablers can help in getting the things into the right track, and which can maximize the profits. Then it can minimize the environmental benefits, and it can maximize the social benefits also. So we are going to we are going to identify and prioritize these sustainable supply chain innovation enablers, and then we will see that how it is working into the Indian context. So we have a two broad category. One is that we have to identify the enablers, and the second one is that we have to rank them. So for ranking them, we are going to use the Pythagorean fuzzy HP. If you look into the conventional AHP process, so where mostly people knows, many of you are from the educational institute, so probably the AHP is not a bigger issue. You might be knowing, even the some of the speakers might have covered. So it basically, the conventional HP uses the human judgment, and then there is every possibility that data may be imprecise and vague to some extent. But we say the limitation of HP, and then we say that the further processes are further advancement in HP has come. But still, my belief is that that conventional HP is performing better, even though we are not doing it. Not popularly now, it is in the use, but yes, there was the tedious process where we had to always find out the consistency ratio and all, and then we had to check the matrix again and again, and it used to take much time. Even the cases where there are many experts, then how the aggregations and other things are going to be happen. So for handling that later stages, the fuzzy sets has been integrated into the HP, and into the fuzzy sets, the literature says that it minimizes the vagueness and handles the imprecision. And you might be knowing that there are two types of the fuzzy membership functions, that is the triangular and the trapezoidal, which are commonly used. There are other also, but this triangular and trapezoidal were commonly used, and you will find lot of research paper which talks about the fuzzy AHP, and then there are different type versions of the fuzzy AHP also. An intuitionistic fuzzy set is introduced to handle the issue related to the membership functions and the non-membership functions and hesitancy degree. Now, two membership functions in the intuitionistic fuzzy set could, they can handle the, vagueness of the human judgment, but what is the basic limitations are that when we talk about this, the mainly when there is the when we are doing the arithmetic addition, so that is the basic limitation. So when we are doing the arithmetic additions, so if there is the two membership functions, so it becomes one, and it implicates that this fuzzy set cannot handle the situation where sum of membership function is higher than one. Means there are cases where the membership functions are more than one, then this becomes not useful. Then the later stage, the Pythagorean fuzzy sets were proposed to address this particular issue, where the sum of two membership function has been of intuitionistic fuzzy set has been substituted by the square of each membership function. And when we are squaring it, so in any case the value is not going to more than one. It will be always less than one, and this is the only reason which reports into the literature that why the Pythagorean membership grades has been used. Now, another one thing is that other criteria of fuzzy set theory is holds goods, where we talk about the vagueness and imprecisions are handled by the conventional fuzzy this one. So this Pythagorean fuzzy also able to handle it. So the basic difference is that the membership functions are not arithmetically added. It is added with the it is added with the square, and it which permits that the whole function is always less than or equal to 1. Now let us come to the second stage, and the second stage says that the literature. See, today there are lot of research which is going on, and you will find that especially when you have to identify the factors. So you will find that there are so many papers which are coming. Even many people write the paper, and probably the paper gets rejected because of the literature. You have very good applied method of Pythagorean fuzzy HP or any other multi-criteria decision making techniques, but it gets rejected because of the poor literature. Now let me spend some time here when we talk about the to identify the sustainable supply chain innovations enablers. See, normal practice of research is if you have to identify the factors. So what is the normal practice where people do? that how if you had been asked to identify the factors from the literature, so what is the normal practices it has been you follow this one? Anyone can tell if they had done the research, some work in any of the area where the factors of quality TQM or Lean Six Sigma or any circular economy or knowledge management, any particular area where the factors are identified. Can anybody tell that what is the process through which they had done it?
Sir, I am audible, sir.
Yeah, you are audible.
Sir, we have the practices of TPM in our plant. That is
Yeah.
total productive maintenance. So
Hmm.
in that we have different pillars in it, almost 8 pillars, and we have
Hmm.
practiced about that Jishu pillar, where all the
Hmm.
practices means basic practices of root level, means how the operator should have to be diagnose all these fugais and identification of all that fugais and counter measures for it, and how can we elevate the level of or what we call it as the environment of the working environment of the plant. We have done that things.
Yeah. So basically, what one of your friends are telling that whether we identify the factors and we have certain framework and then, okay. But normally, it is, when the industries are doing something, there is difference when the academics are doing research and when the industries are doing the work. So when industries are doing the work, they have a set of framework, and then it has been imported from some literature, and then they are working it. But academia has to develop then with concern with this particular industry. So basic way of doing is that you have a databases like Scopus, Web of Science, and then you go on doing a keyword search like we did it into this particular work. Is that we found that sustainable supply chain innovation enablers, sustainable supply chain innovation factors, then sustainable innovation factors, and then we could got some combination of literature, and from that combination of literature again it has been collected. Then there are many factors which are the multiple factors that can be discarded, and then some factors can be retained, some unique factor may come into discussion while collecting it. Some unique factor may come which is somebody has used. Even with some finalization of the factors, we can go with the industries people where some experience of their experience can tell that which are the factors are relevant. But probably by looking into few papers and finalizing a factors, it becomes a very narrow approach, and probably the first and foremost rejection of any particular paper. So you do a systematic literature review if you want to do any particular research in any particular area, and that will give you the sufficient window for that, and certainly you will be doing it into the better way. What if you have not done it earlier? Please do it. You will find out the lot of difference. Now, when we say that what is the role of innovation into the supply chain is, we say that the three dimensions of social, economic, and environmental can flourish if we are adopting the sustainable supply chain innovation concepts. And when we say that innovation is essential into the supply chain, so innovation should be sustainable, and it is going to help a supply chain to focus on the triple bottom line concept, that is the social, economical, and the environmental issues. Now, we had searched so many literature in this particular area, and some of the important literature which says that there are 21 sustainable supply chain innovations criteria has been used, and the Bestworth method has been used to predict the adoption rate. Bestworth is the another one, multi-criteria decision-making methods, and there are a lot of papers in recent 3-4. This is old method, but if you look into that, there are a lot of paper in recent 3-4 years has come with the different combinations. Then there is another one author, that is Goldman's et al. In 2018, where he has prioritized the 27 factors of sustainable supply chain in textile industry. Then there are few more like Newtangeling et al., who investigated how sustainable supply chain influenced the relation between supply chain partner. And this is very good paper. If you want to do some work in this area, you can go through this particular paper. And they had shown that how the supply chain partners can be helpful into the sustainable supply chain. So looking to the whole study, we had searched so many paper, and then we found that most of the research work which focus on evaluating these factors and to adopt the supply chain practices and what should be the organizational capability. See, basically, how organization can promote the SSCI. And then some of the study which were done into, like I told you, into textile industry, the few examples which we had given, they had investigated the sustainable supply chain innovation practices, how it has been adopted into the particular sectors. Then there are few study which talks about these sustainable supply chain implementation factors, how the sustainability can be achieved. But talking to these factors is not a sufficient thing. And then if you want to implement this factor, adopt this factor into the organization, so all these factors cannot be adopted in one effort. It has to be some priority, and there is the cases that if you adopt some of the factors, automatically other things will follow. So this particular study, which focus on this sustainable supply chain innovation enablers. So we identified total 33 enablers, and then these enablers has been categorized into the 5 particular group. And then the framework has been developed with the AHP having the. So what was the framework is that we have to find out the first column of that framework is that we have to find out the ranking of sustainable supply chain enablers. For that, we have a main enablers which is categorized into the five categories, and then we have a sub-enablers. See, I am not going to the individual detail because I had to give more focus on the method also. So discussing all these things, it will take time. So we will finally go to the method phase. So, what is the how the things has been carried out? That we had identified the enablers, then we had discussed with the decision making panel, and the decision making panel was from the case industry, and then we had finalized the 33 which I had shown you. Then these are categorized into 5 main category, and then the Pythagorean fuzzy HP has been applied to these enablers. This is the the same the step which I was telling. So this has been made into a diagram which talks about a research framework. So this is the way how frameworks can be developed. Means this is the explanation thing, but you can develop as a form of flow chart. So which gives the clear understanding. If anyone is not willing to hold paper, he can understand with this particular thing. Now we had already discussed little about the Pythagorean fuzzy set, and when we talk about the multi-criteria decision making, MCDM problems, so we say that it is imprecise and the vague, and then the intrinsic fuzzy set has been introduced, but the main limitations was that since it was the arithmetic addition, so value can go greater than 1. So to handle that particular issue, there is other fuzzy sets has been used. So what are the other fuzzy sets is that neutrophic set, then Pythagorean fuzzy set, then ortho pair fuzzy sets. So these are the extension which handles the intrinsic fuzzy set capability and addresses the major issue. Now, these three fuzzy sets are mostly, they are also not new because it has been developed back. But slowly, if you look into the literature, so now the neutrophic and Pythagorean fuzzy sets, you will finding some papers which are coming into that. So what we are going to discuss here is that we are going to discuss here with the Pythagorean fuzzy set. So what is the step into this Pythagorean fuzzy set is that before going to the step, let me talk about the scale with Pythagorean fuzzy number uses. So this value, it is having a upper and the lower value of non-membership function, which is non-membership degree, which is denoted by VL and VL and VU, and then that is L is lower and U is the upper, and then we have a upper and the lower value of membership degree. And this is the scale, linguistic scale, which is given, that is CLI, that is certainly low importance. Then very low importance, VLI. Then low importance, LI. Then below average importance, that BAI. Then average importance AAI, then average importance AAI, then higher importance HI, very higher importance VHI, certainly higher importance CHI, and exactly equally important. So normally, in general, in any of the fuzzy scales, probably 5 point and 7 point scales are very common, but here it is the 10 point scales are given. So we have what is the basic difference between the Pythagorean fuzzy set and this is that in the Pythagorean fuzzy set we are going to have a set of two values, that is membership functions and the non-membership functions, and these values will be converted into the we can say that from the fuzzy to the normal scale. Now how this method works is that the first case is that you have to develop a pairwise comparison matrix based on the inputs research from the experts. So the pairwise comparison matrix is nothing but this is linguistic term, that is CLI, VLI, VI, BI, AI, AAI. So this is the way how this pairwise comparison matrix has been given. Now after that you have to find out the using the lower and upper value of membership and non-membership functions, you have to compute the differences, that is DIKU and DIKL. So you have to square the lower and upper membership functions, and then you have to calculate it. After that you have to compute the interval multiplicative matrix, which is given by SKL is equal to 1000 DL and then 1000 DU, and then you have to compute the determinacy value tau, and then finally you have to find out the matrix weight, and then the process of normalizations comes, which is almost equal to the other AHP methods which we had followed, because the fuzzy will be converted into the crisp number. To explain this, let me take one example which will give you the fair idea that how the steps can be done. See, if you look into the scale, which is can you see the Excel sheet? Can you see the Excel sheet?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This particular column, if you look into this, this is the scale which is there. That is CLI, VLI, then VAI, then AI, and this is 9-point scale which I was talking. This is the scale which is there. Now these are the 4 values of membership. These two first two values are the lower and the upper values of the membership degree. Then the second two values are basically the lower and the upper values of non-membership degree. Now what the step says is that you have to compute DIKU and DIKL. So for computation of DIQL, so what you have to do is that you have to square. So what you have to square is you have to square the value of UKU and then minus this VIKL. And then the second case is that you have to square the next value. Now once it is completed, see, this is the case. Can you see it, this Excel sheet? Hello?
Yes, yes, sir. It's visible.
It is visible. Probably I will give you the Excel sheet if somebody wants to apply this method, so he can apply it. You can ask with your course coordinator. After this class, I will supply. Fine. So this is the two calculations which says that step 2. Now the third one is the step 3. What step 3 says? Step 3 says that there is the square root of SIKL and the square root of SIKU. So this is the value of square root of SIKU, and this is the value of square root of SIKL, and how it has been calculated. So this is the value of DIKL. So that is 100 to the power this particular value, 100 raised to the power DL, and then this value is 100 raised to the power CL. So after this third stage of value has been calculated. Then there is the fourth stage where this formula is there, that is 1 minus UIKU minus mu square IKL minus V square IKU minus V square IKU. So this is the mu square IKU minus, all are the minus term. So if you look into the formula, so it has already been calculated. Now once it is done, so the next stage is that you have to find out the value of TIK. So the TIK value is nothing but this is the average of this value, means SIKL, and the value of SIK. So this average has been calculated by I15 plus I15 plus K15, I15, and then there is the K15. So there is the square, two values are there, and then this is the individual square has been given. So these two values are taken average, and the next step is that it has to be multiplied by TIK. So TIK is already we had calculated here. So what is this TIK? So TIK will be this particular average value, and then this determinacy value, which talks about what is the determinacy value. So determinacy value is nothing but TIK. So this is the multiplication factor, and this is the way how the scale value has been calculated. So once this scale value has been calculated, see, you have to mandatorily you have to do this calculation. You cannot use this value because this is the value where it converted into the linguistic scale, and then after that the rest of the things are fine. Like this is the factor where the this is the main factor. So they had been, so all the main factor, let us say this is the main factor. So corner value will have a equal relation, equal relation. So this will be established as the one, and then rest of the value will be selected as per this particular table, and the original linguistic values which were captured by the experts are maybe also given somewhere. It is not there probably. Yeah, this is the value which is given by the expert, and then this is the value which is converted by the this particular calculation. Are you clear or not? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes,
As I
sir.
am audible?
And now it is clear.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir. Clear. Participants also sending chat message. They are understanding.
Okay. So
You can continue.
actually this app is new for me, Sirdarji, because we are using Google Meet only and Microsoft Team. So probably I am not able to see the chats. So probably they may be sending, but I am not able to see it. No issue. So this particular it is simplest one. Only thing is that you have to be careful while doing the calculations, and then once you can do it, it is not a difficult one. And then the rest of the things are procedural. What you can say that how the ranking has been converted. So the last step, the sixth step of, yeah, I will share it. So the sixth stage where we say that yeah. So the last step where we say that calculate the normalized priority weight. So normalization is easiest job. So what we can do, we can add the column. and then the individual value will be, so this, if you, this is the total, so this particular value divided it by total, then again this value will be this particular value divided it by total, and then so on, this value divided it by total. So this is way how it has to be done. Now before going to the theory, there is, see, this is the Pythagorean fuzzy HP part, which is easiest to do it. It is not a difficult one. Now there is the second stage of, once the model is developed, so what is the expected is that you should able to talk about the sensitivity of the analysis and then the robustness of the model. Let's say, then how it is done is that, suppose, we had done this, AHP calculation, and I will just skip it because probably we may get delayed. So what I just told you that, we have a different group of factors. So these are the 5 main factors for which pairwise comparison has been made, and then the ranking has been achieved. Now in these 5 we have a different factors, that is, this is management related, sustainable supply chain, innovation enablers, and then the same way the data has been captured and then ranking has been done. Then there is the collaboration type, yes, innovation enablers are there, then the technical innovation enablers are there, then the social innovation enablers are there, and then the policy enablers were there, and then calculation has been carried out. Now if you look into the first case, which where we had done, so for this particular case, main enablers, the weight is 0.134. So what I did is that I had written a factor weight is 0.134, and then we have a sub-factor weight. So sub-factor weight can be done through the comparison of this. This is the this, and this is the sub-factor weight which we had achieved. So we have to calculate the global weight, and after the global weight, you have to find out the ranking. Now, this is the part where, we say that, the part of the calculation, that if the Pythagorean fuzzy HP has to be applied, so this is the way how it has been applied. But what we did into this particular research is that we developed the model of AHP, where we have a, first is that we have to rank the enablers, then we have to main enablers, then sub enablers, and then the ranking of those sub enablers I have to find out. So that particular, model has been tested into a case company, which is having into his branch into the Nasik, and this basically, this company is processing steel coils for manufacturing the automotive body parts. And they have a blanking lines, and that blanking line has been procured from the Germany, and then recently they started manufacturing the solar structure and the construction of purlins through the rolling form process. They are also following the some sustainable initiatives to minimize the negative impact of their operation on environment, and those initiatives are lower transport related carbon footprint. So they see that the transportation part can be taken care, the minimum carbon emission is permitted, then packaging, sustainable packaging, then use of the energy efficient lights, then engaging its company are engaged in the corporate sustainable responsibility activity. Basically, if this case company, they see, issue is that these can be the initial stage from where any of the company can start, because sustainable packaging is not so cost. Any technology which has to be introduced into the packaging is not so costly. Even nobody stops you to have energy efficient lights into the organization. So this is there, and then their belief is that people, planet, and profits are crucial, and for creating long-term stakeholder values, and also to leave behind better planet for coming generations. So this was the whole philosophy of sustainability the company is following, and then they are also committed to improve the environmental footprints and the social impact of their business into the coming year. Now, we had finalized the 33 enablers, and then we finalized the decision making panel consists of the 6 experts, and all the experts has been asked to give a consolidated rating, means single scale, single seat, means let us say 6 are there, so they can do the pairwise comparison, and one set of comparison can be supplied in this, because say, since fuzzy we are using, so probably aggregation is not a issue here. Because in the conventional cases where we use the Chris value, and then we were doing the aggregations. Then this part I had already told you that how we are going to convert this into the linguistic scale, and then how the linguistic scale will be converted into the fuzzy value of membership and the non-membership functions, and then how the weight has been created, weight has been normalized. So this we had already discussed. So this is for the main enablers, then the sub enablers, and then the finally the global weight has been calculated. So how the global weight has been calculated? It is the individual factor weight multiplied by the sub factor weight is giving the global weight, and the weights are coming. Now the next stage is that we had to conduct the sustainability sensitivity analysis. Basically, this sustainable analysis is used to sensitivity analysis is used to verify the proposed framework, and it performs to ensure that final ranking of sub criteria are sensitive to the weights of main criteria, and also that the ranking obtained are robust in nature. Means if we can say that even if we change the weight, and ranking remains unaffected, or ranking will have a normal change, so we say that the model is robust. If you look into the collaboration related sustainable innovation enablers, and the technology related sustainable supply chain enablers. So if you look into their look into the weight, so the weight of weight of collaboration is higher than the weight of the technology. Means let's say one is the collaboration and the second one is the technology. So what we do is that we conduct the sustainability sensitivity analysis. So what we will do is that we are going to vary the weight of, please observe, we are going to vary the weight of collaborative sustainable supply chain enablers from 3.96 to multiples of 0.1%. Means if we say that the first weight is 0.396, then the second weight will be CSI into 0.9, then this into 0.8, then this into 0.7, this. So let's say this first weight is 0.396. So what I will do is that I will multiply this point, and this is the weight which we had received with the for the main criteria of sustainable supply chain innovation enablers. So what we will do is that we will multiply it by 0.9, then this weight will be multiplied by 0.8, then this weight will be multiplied by 0.7, then this weight will be multiplied by 0.6, then this weight will be 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.4, 0.1, means this is the original weight which is multiplied by this. Now, what I will do next? So for doing the next, what I will do is that I will find out a difference. What is the difference is that I will find out the difference of first change, that is 0.3996, and then the first value is 0.3597. So if I will take a difference of these two values, that is 0.3996 and 0.3597, so this is going to be 0.0399. And now what I will do is that I will divide it by 4. We have 4 other value na, 1, 2, 3, means rest 1 we have changed, rest 4 we are not changing. So we will divide it by 4. So what is going to happen is that when we are dividing this particular value by 4, so this is going to be 0.01. So for calculation of next set of value, what I will do is that I will add 0.01 here, 0.01 here, 0.01 here, 0.01 here, and accordingly this value will be calculated. Are you getting my point or not? This is the one of the important step for important step for the case where the sensitivity analysis is done. See, if you will find out in the research paper, they have done it something, but nobody has explained it, that how it is going to calculate it. Now when I will go to the next one, so what I will do is that I will now the same way this value has to be calculated. Now what you got is that you have a 4 sets of normal value, and for which you had done the calculation. Now you have a next set of measure criteria. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is new criteria weight, and that will be substituted here, and the ranking will be calculated. You are getting my point. Then there will be the next set, ranking will be calculated, next set, ranking will be calculated, next set, ranking will be calculated, next set, ranking will be calculated. So using all these sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, using all those 9 sets, the ranking will be calculated. If you look into these 9 sets, and then we have a different ranking of the enablers, and you will find that mostly the ranking differ by very minor. This one, there is no vast. You look into that. 28, 29, 27, 26, 23, then 15, 14, 14, 13, 13. In cases this 31, 32, 32, then 8, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. So what we can say is that some cases it is deviating, but that part, this is wrongly written. So probably
एक मैडम आई है पेपर मांग रही है कल का मैडम दे दूं
कैसा पेपर
पता नहीं दे दूं
मैं 1 minute I am coming. 1 minute. So this is the first case where we had this is wrongly written. So this is the original, and then it starts with 9, 10, and then so on. So this is how it has been. This is how the sensitivity has to be calculated. So probably I think anybody is having issue or is not understood, then I will once again I will try to explain it. Is it okay, the sensitivity?
No, okay, sir.
Yeah. Now
Shall be respond.
what the next is that we and then this is the radar chart. You can draw it for the sensitivity analysis. Then we did the same reverse case. Reverse case we did is that we kept the everything same, and then we changed this technological factor which was at the second level. And by changing this technology factor at 7 level, the process was same. It has been multiplied, and then the difference of these two consecutive values has been calculated, and then it has been divided it by 4, and then it has been added. So this is the way how it has been done. Now after doing that, again we have a the next stage we have a again those 9 values, and then the ranking is there. And now also here also you will see that almost the ranking remains same. This is 5 5 5 5 4 4 3 3 3, and if you can just go to the last one there, you will find that 4 4 3 2, because 4 and 5s are interchanged with the technology, and then the slight variations are there, but issue is almost same. This is also a radar chart which has been drawn, and if you wish, you can assess this whole paper which is published into the journal, that is Sustainable Production Consumption of Elsewhere. And this this is the research work which is carried out by 2 of my students. So the whole paper is there. Almost the things which I had couldn't brought into the PPT, those things were also available in this. So you can, if you wish, you can go through that. Even the questionnaire which we floated. So for that also some samples has been given, and then how the exports are there. Those things are also given. Now we will conclude. So the result says that collaboration related factors are the highest factor, and then the hierarchy of individual factors are being given, and then we say that why collaboration is important, because there is diverse group of engagement is required to handle the sustainability, like supplier, local people, customer, environmental specialists, NGOs. And then technology is one of the important criteria. Technological enablers, that is R&D labs into the relationship with the marketing, production universities and government institutions stands at second. Why it stands at second is that because unless otherwise industries are supported by the institute uh, uh, research, then it is difficult. And problem is with countries that industry and academia are always far, and because of that reason, it is we are not able to develop good. Even the labs cannot be developed unless otherwise the industry takes interest into that, because output is not utilized by the academia, output is utilized by the industries only. Then the third line says that the supply chain coordination and the trust is the one of the important factor. So then the social and ecological thinking become an integrated part of the business strategy and culture to implement novelties and improvements in the entire supply chain. And the sixth factor talk about the joint learning process and the knowledge exchange, which addresses the supply chain sustainability issue and the shift towards the sustainable product. Then there is the ease of foreign direct investment, because see, when we do not have a fund to invest into the technology, so better to have technology, or even the many cases market. So let us invite the investor to participate into the companies, this one, so that money will come, and then innovate, because innovative capability we can be developed into the better way. So these are the few managerial implications, which is you can, if you are interested into the topic, you can just go through the research paper which is published into this particular journal. So if you have access, you can download, but if you do not have access, and if you wish that, I will send it to you. You can get it by the course coordinator. So probably I am done with this. But only thing is that it is not a tough game where the Pythagorean fuzzy HP has to be solved, and it is also a easier way to carry out the sustainability analysis, sorry, sensitivity analysis. So sensitivity analysis, it is the one way to do the sensitivity analysis. There could be other ways also available, but the issue is that we have one independent factor. We have the two level factors, and since we are applying only one method, so this is the only way through which the sensitivity has been calculated. If we have a hybrid method, so we can change the entire set of value of the first method, so that the hybrid will automatically give it the ranking. But what is the major takeaway from this is that the ranking of the enablers, and the organization can proceed into the rank given by the study. If anybody wants to apply the sensitivity analysis, so they can go through the available ranking, that which factors are most important, and then with company specific factors, company specific analysis can also be done using the some set of experts from that same company or the same sectors, and then the factors can be prioritized. Sensitivity analysis says that this model is robust, and then it can be used into the better way. So this is all about from my side. So now I will stop. So let me you can contact me if you require any particular help. So So it is over from my side.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your lecture on Pythagorean 40 HP approach and its applications to evaluate sustainable supply chain innovation. Then particularly the sensitivity analysis part will be very much useful for our participants to learn how to evaluate this criteria. And please share that paper, sir, research paper, which will enable the participants.
Excel sheet also. Excel sheet also, and that PPT also. If somebody wants to use it, then it will be helpful.
PPT, Excel sheet, and yeah, research paper. Please share them, sir. It will be useful for the participants.
Okay.
Dear participants, if you have any queries, sorry, still is online to answer the queries.
Actual now everybody
The
for the
criteria,
line.
the criteria weights, sub-criteria weights are there, no sir?
What?
Criteria weights and sub-criteria weights.
Criteria weight.
Criteria weights and sub-criteria weights. Is there any, like in AHP procedure, all the weights will be equal to 1, no sir? Like that, any criteria is there for here also for sub-criteria and criteria weights should be equal to 1?
No, that is when you normalize it, so after the normalization the weight will be 1. जब आप normalize करेंगे ये जो है if you can see the screen, so अगर आप इसको जो है ऐड करेंगे तो उसका weight 1 होगा.
Okay sir.
Means this is the normal process where we are adding the total and then we are dividing it by the grand total.
Okay sir, but if you see in the first thing sir, first sub-criteria weight in the PowerPoint, you have shown it as 0.13 sir, but the sub-criteria weight has been increased to 0.33 sir. So
Which
actually the main criteria sub-criteria slides PPT sir. Yes sir. Here sir, first criteria weight is first criteria weight is 0.33 sir, but local criteria weight is only 0.3. Means the same 30 here sir, 0.134 and 0.3.
0.1334.
Okay sir.
You are talking about this weight?
Yes sir.
Yeah.
Here for this MSCIE, the sub-criteria weight should be total number of sub-factors divided by the value, or it has to be calculated individually, sir. This 7 weight.
हाँ, ये जो 7 है ना, ये 7 है तो इंडिविजुअल कंपैरिजन किया हुआ है. वो जो है मैं बताता हूँ, वो 7 जो है ये वाला है, ये.
ओके ठीक है सर.
दिस इज द इंडिविजुअल एंड अभी इसको ऐड करोगे ना तो ये ओपन आएगा.
From this one we have to decode that weight value, I think.
Yeah.
Okay sir. Got it. Thank you sir.
So it is fine for everyone. So if nothing, Sridharji.
Okay, sir. All participants, they conveyed the thanks to the speaker.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
now,
sir.
thanks to you also, you had invited me for a talk, and we will be in touch in the future, right?
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Okay, dear participant, we will end the section now. Then for the next section, join by 2:55.